Those that are coming in on Facebook, welcome to all of you tonight. I hope you all can journey with me tonight and share with me tonight as we go into this teaching. I want to thank you for tuning in. So many of you that tune in every single week. Thank you so much for tuning in every single week. Again, welcome in those on Facebook. Welcome those in on Facebook on tonight. All those that are coming in on Facebook. All those that are coming in on Facebook on tonight. I want to welcome you in. If you're on Instagram, share this with somebody. Facebook, share this with at least 5 or 10 people and tell them that Transformation Tuesday is on. And I want to welcome you for tuning in tonight. I'm not going to be dragged out tonight. I'm going to get right into this because there's a couple of things I want to cover in this teaching. And so I want you all to be able to hear it. Also, tonight I'm going to be doing something. Well, we sometimes go into prophetic flow. I'm going to do prophetic flow a little different tonight. If you heard what I said, I'm going to do prophetic flow just a little bit different tonight when we get into the prophetic flow. We're going to do it just a little bit differently tonight. So those of you, if you're watching this and you believe in the prophetic, you believe in prophecy, you are one that have received prophecy, or you believe in the power of prophecy, or you know somebody, if you believe in the power of prophecy, you embrace it, and you know someone that you say, you know what, you may need a word, tell them to tune in tonight. Not just for a word alone, because there is a teaching, but a prophetic word. Once we begin to move into a prophetic stream in a few moments. Welcome in Nate Knox. Welcome in Nate Knox. Welcome in Nate Knox on Instagram. I think we have our 5 people, the first 5 people on Facebook, the first 5 people on Instagram. Normally you all are considered our icebreakers. So we want to welcome in those that on Facebook who broke the ice tonight. I want to welcome you. And we want to welcome in Diamond tonight on Instagram. Welcome in Diamond tonight. On Instagram. All right, Instagram, tag some people and tell them that we're on Facebook. Where you at? I see you, Facebook. Where you're at tonight? Let me say this because I'm going to jump right in this. So those of you that are coming in, I want to move expeditiously because I want to cover a lot of ground tonight. Again, if this is Transformation Tuesday. If you're watching this for the first time, this is Transformation Tuesday, where we believe in transforming lives by changing the way you think. Because until you change the way someone think, you have not changed their life. You have to change the way you think. I want to help you. You have to change the way you think. And then changing the way that you think, then that changes a life. If you don't change your perception and you don't change your thinking, then you have not changed anything at all. Sometimes people spend a whole lot of time trying to change, or let's say it this way, you think that your behavior makes the final solidification, validation, and security of your life, but it's not that, it's the way you think. And when you change that and get a different perspective, or you expand the way you think, you expand your consciousness, whether you're expanding the consciousness of faith, whether you're expanding the consciousness of wealth and money, whether you're expanding the consciousness of business, whether you're expanding the consciousness of ministry. Consciousness simply means aware, awake, or alert. And if you don't expand that, then you're not really fully in tune and movement with the spirit. I'm going to share some things. You're not fully in tune with the Spirit, because that's an alignment of a oneness, and you have to be in tune with the Spirit. You got to be in tune with the Spirit, your spirit. You got to be in tune with the Spirit of God, because your spirit and God's spirit is the same self spirit. Spirit, spirit being is power. Spirit is power. It's movement. But until you change the way you perceive things or the way you view things, you have not changed anything really concretely, permanently in your life. So we move. We people move by behavior, and behavior is temporary, a temporary fix that only frustrates what should be a permanent staple. And this is why some of you, you don't, you don't. Sometimes the reason why you don't operate in certain strengths, or let's rephrase the word strength, in certain power or powers, is because your thinking um, does not align with the thought pattern or the thought life or the thought realm of God. And so in when you don't have that kind of thinking, you're constantly moving, but you're not seeing results. And I'm gonna talk from this. I'm teaching from this. Save yourself. If you watch me all the time, then you know where we're going with this. It's called Follow the Instructions. I want you to put that in the comments. Put that in there. Save yourself. I want you to put that in there. It's going to be crazy tonight. I'm going to show you something. Um, and I'm going to give you a few nuggets, not a whole lot, because if I give you all of this, it's too much to handle. Or should I say, it's too much to put on this social media platform. Those that are watching, I'm also going to be, thank you, Elizabeth, save yourself. Thank you, Vivian, save yourself. That's right, put it in there, save yourself. There's some scripture I'm going to give you tonight, but I want you to hear this, save yourself. I'm going to be, um, a lot of the things that if you watch when I'm teaching, sometimes we go and we're digging into things that is against religious logic or against religious mindsets. And that doesn't mean that a person is bad because they have a religious mindset. It just means that they're closed to certain truths. But I'm going to be creating a group um, outside of just this, where those persons are able to handle some of the teachings that I can't say on this social media platform, Instagram or Facebook. And we're going to dig into some stuff. So if you want to be a part of that, I'm going to share with you some information a little later. So until you change the way you think, you haven't changed anything. But I want to go here. Save yourself. Here it is. Too often, we're waiting for God. Now, I'm going to say something. I'm going to say it on this. I'm going to say it on this platform, but I'm not going to go but so deep. The average Christian, the average Christian waits for God to do something that you have the ability and power to do yourself. Now, I know that's a lot right there, probably to handle for some people, but I'm going to say it again. The average Christian waits for God to do something you have to do for yourself. Do you not know that there's things that you have to do? God can't do them. You have to do them. And the reason why, and I want to help some of you out, you need to tag some friends because I'm going to help you, some people out. Welcome in, Diane. I want you to understand this. The reason why some people do not see certain manifestations or things happen in their life is because you're waiting for God to do something that He's empowered you to do on your own. And the reason why you don't see it, you don't have it, you haven't gone, and you don't own it, is because you're waiting for God to do something that you, watch this, that you have the power and the ability to do yourself. And this is going to sound crazy. This is why I got to create this separate group, because this separate group and this closed group, let me say this closed group, I'm going to dig into some stuff that I can't teach on social media. But it promise you, your life will never be the same. We're waiting for God to do stuff that He can't do because the power to do it, He gave you already. So if you don't have results, it's not because, and you can't use this, I'm waiting on God. You have to do something for yourself. See, if you don't own the house yet, this is going to be a lot to swallow. If you don't own the house, don't say, I'm waiting on God. No, you don't own the house because you have not conquered fear. One. Two, you have not worked the abilities that you have, move in a strategic way to own what you want to own. See, God can't make you own a house. God can't make you own a car. That's something you're not waiting on God to do. He's actually hoping that you would tap in to the save myself mentality and get what you say you want. You see, I don't know what's going on with this mic. We've used prayer as a crutch. We've used prayer as a crutch when things don't go right or we're waiting on something. What we start doing is we get this mindset where we get locked up into this, I'm going to pray 5 days about it. And after you get done praying for 5 days about it, guess what? You still don't have it. And one of the reasons you don't have it is because, watch this, is because you're waiting on God. I want to show you this scripture real quickly. I want to show you this. Romans chapter 10. Romans chapter 10. And we're going to look at Romans chapter 10, verses 9. Watch this, and then I'm going to give you another one. I promise you never seen the next verse that I'm going to give you. You have to, I'm trying to get, what I'm trying to lay a foundation here is stop waiting. It says that if thou confess with thy mouth the Lord Jesus, and shalt believe in thine heart that God hath raised him from the dead, thou shalt be saved. Look at this. I don't want to go too far into it, but Paul is talking here, and he's in this chapter. He's making a confession, a prayer. He's prayed for Israel to be saved. He wants them to be saved. He wants the Jews to be saved. And the challenge here is because the Israelites feel that they already have God. Watch this. They feel like they already have God, so they don't feel like they really need to do anything else because they feel like they already have God. So he's trying to help them to understand, and he's praying in a sense to them or for them, and then he starts to tell them what they need to do. They felt because they were keeping the law as religious law keepers, they felt that they were fine. Paul says to them, in a nutshell, no, you're not fine. He says, but I can tell you, and I'm paraphrasing, I'm just trying to skip through because I want to go back to this. He says, you're not fine. So let me help you understand how you can be fine. He says, now, if you want it, then what you have to do is, he says, you have to confess with your mouth. He says, you have to confess with your mouth. And he says, if you confess with your mouth the Lord Jesus, thou shalt believe in thine heart, and believe in thy heart, thou shalt be that he raised from the dead, thou shalt be saved. Paul says, in other words, he says, the only way you're going to get this is you got to save yourself. But watch what he said. You got to confess. He says, you got to make confession. Paul says, you have to do something. There's no magical wand. There's no angel that is going to come and put this on you. You've got to do the work. That's what he says. You have to do the work. You have to do the work. He says that if thou shalt confess with thy mouth the Lord Jesus and shalt believe in thy heart that God hath raised from the dead, thou shalt be saved. He says that you're not going to be saved until you do something. Wow. That's why I said put in the comments, save yourself, because he says there's some things you're not going to have until you make confession. You have to put in some work. You got to do something. So he tells them, you got to make a confession. In other words, you got to do this. And until you do this, you can't have that. I want to tell everyone watching, there's some things you're never going to get until you do something. You see, God's not waiting for you on Friday. No, he's not waiting for you to get to Friday. You get to Friday by doing something. Wow. It's going to be another hard pill to swallow. You're waiting for God to deliver you. And he says, no, that's not the way it works. I don't bring anybody out of anything they don't want to come out of. Guess what? You got to do what? You got to want to come out. I'm waiting for God to fix this. No, he says, it's not about waiting for me to fix it. What are you doing? Because you have to do something. And until you do something, you won't have nothing. Yee. So he says, tell them, this is what he said to me the other day, save yourself. You're in debt. I'm waiting for God to get rid of my debt. Why are you waiting for God to get rid of your debt? He says, you're waiting for me to cancel out debt? Why don't you do something? Save yourself. Because we're waiting in the power to change your life, you have the power to make the difference in your life. You have the power to change the dynamics, to shift your life. You have the power. You have the power because he gave you the power. We don't utilize the power. We keep going. I can't really say all of this because again, this is too much for the social media platform, open platform. You're waiting for him to do something that he's already giving you the power to do. This is what separates wealthy people from people who live in poverty, because wealthy people have tapped into the power that they have within themselves that has already been given, realizing they have the power to create wealth that they never had. Wow. You have the ability to change your life because the power is already yours. And Paul says, if you confess with your mouth, believe in your heart that God hath raised Jesus from the dead, he said you shall be saved. He says you can't be saved until you open your mouth and confess. 2, I got to believe. So I can't just confess. I have to believe what I'm confessing. And what am I confessing? That God raised Jesus from the dead. He says, so you have to save yourself. You got to put in the work. If something is not working, we got to ask ourselves, why is it not working? Is it not working because the people around me? Or is it not working because I haven't changed the people around me? Or I haven't changed me, although I'm still around the same people? Sometimes there is an allowance that the people around you will stay there for a moment. And the Father is saying, the environment is going to stay that way for a moment, but I need you to control the environment without allowing the environment to control you, to change you into what it is. So then I have to maximize the power to change the environment that's around me, or the circle that's around me, or the people that's around me. I have to maximize the power to not allow the environment to affect who I am and to affect my purpose and to affect the spirit power, or the power of the spirit that I possess, or to affect my dream, or to affect my vision. I have to make sure that I don't allow the circle or the environment around me to have that much power that it influences my attitude and makes me step out of character, causing people to question my integrity because I allowed something or someone or the environment to make me display a behavior that is not my behavior, but because I'm in the environment, I'm now behaving like the environment because I'm not in control. See, many of you are letting people try to save you that don't have the power to save you. You have to save yourself. Wow. Why am I broke? Ask yourself, why am I broke? Why am I struggling? It's not the devil. I'm not struggling because of the devil. You're not broke because of the devil. It is because You have accepted the fact and you're looking at it from a religious mindset that I'm waiting on God to give me money. When the Bible says he's given you the power, missionary Brown, to get wealth. So why am I waiting on God to give me money when he said he gave me the power? Wait a minute. I can't really dig into that like I want to, but I promise you, if you join this group that I'm getting ready to create, he says, I've given you the power to get money, but you telling me in prayer you're waiting on me. Wait, no, my brother. No, my sister. You're not waiting on him. He says, I've given you the power to get the money that you need. I gave you power to get the money. I gave you power to get the money that you need. So the reason why you don't have the money that you need is because you're waiting on me. Wait, I just said something there. Wait a minute. I just said something there. I'm going to say that again and slow that thing down for the people who didn't hear me. He says the reason why you don't have the money you need is because you're waiting on me. I don't think y'all heard me. I'm going to say it again. Y'all should be tagging your family members and your friends. They'll stop asking you for money so much. The reason why you don't have the money you need is because you're waiting on me to give you something that you have the power to get, because I know you have the power to get it because I gave you the power to get it. Wow. I gave you the power to get the money you need, but you're going to spend 3 days praying to me, asking me for money, when you could have took those 3 days, tapped into your creative imagination of thought and creative ability to get the money you need, and by the 3rd day, you would have had the money, instead of on the 3rd day, you're still waiting for the money you could have already had. You have the power to change. You have the power to change. Influence is not a gift. Influence is a thought. It is a confidence. It is a knowing. You see, everybody, here goes a prophetic thing right here, because I sense this. If you're watching this and you hear this and this resonate with you, I want you to say, I believe. I believe in prophecy. If you don't post nothing. See, many of you that are watching right now where you are shifting to, and let me be very clear when I say that. Let me explain that. Where your mind is shifting to, everyone is not going to agree with your mind shift. They're not going to like your mind shift. They're not going to like the new information that you have. They're not going to like the fact that you've come into or been exposed to another truth, and they're not going to like that you've taken on a different posture. Other reasons I'm going to like it is because you're going to start producing what you've been saying. Wait a minute. You're going to start producing what you've been saying. You're going to start manifesting what you've been saying. So you're going to start seeing the manifestation of what you've been saying, because now you realize that the power of your words are more than just mere words. They are words that want to take action in your life. Words want to manifest. Wow. All this and this that we quote all the time, this Romans 10 and 9. He says, if you confess with your mouth, believe in thy heart that God has raised Jesus from the dead, you shall be saved. Paul says, you're waiting for God to do something that he says until you make a confession until your frequency of belief increases, I can't save you. Wow. I can't save your family. I can't save your house. I can't save your money. I can't save your dreams. I can't save your ministry. I can't save you from the habit. I can't save you from the addiction. I can't save you from the relationship. I can't save you from the abusive relationship, the verbal relationship, the emotional toxicity and chaos of the relationship. I cannot save you. You have to save yourself. Whoa. 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 What do you mean? I got it. Yes, I'm going to say it. You have to save yourself. I'm in a verbal relationship, abusive relationship, and I'm praying. Why are you praying? I don't know what God wants me to do. You're not going to, see, this is a lot. This is a lot. This is a lot. He didn't answer you. You know why he can't answer you? Because you haven't given him access. Because you ain't saved yourself. Whoa. Whoa. Wow. Wow. I'm going out to eat with people who don't like me, and I don't know what to do. I'm going to pray these devils away. No, you're not. You're not going to pray them away. They're going to still be there. Why? Because you haven't saved yourself. Because you like something in the devil that you call a devil. Whoa. Because, let's be honest, there's something good in the company that you keep, although you know there's a danger to your life if you're around them. So you are compensating the danger from being around them versus the fact that you're looking and saying something good is in them. Whoa. And I'm waiting for God to remove them. And God said, no, I'm waiting for you to remove you. Now you got a couple of options. I remove myself mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. In other words, I can be in your company and you're a liar. I can be in your company and you don't believe what I believe. I can be in your company, you don't agree with what I agree with. I can be in your company and you don't like the sex that I like. I can be in your company because now I'm not persuaded nor changed by your energy. I know how to still be saved. And you can't change my saveness. Is this too much? Is this too much for this platform? Because I want to dig so deep, but I'm not. But we have so much to learn. So my saveness does not change because I'm in control of my saveness. Whoa. So you smoking a cigarette around me does not offend my saveness. It does not. Okay. You smoking a cigarette around me does not offend the Spirit of God. Morally, out of respect, if you don't want to smoke, then okay. But you smoking, if I walk by, does not offend me. Wow. Because my savedness is not predicated on you. I chose to be saved. Whoa. See, when you finally say, okay, I'm in bondage and I got to get out of this, and you get out of this, and you're around people that's bound, your boundness does not cause me to relapse back into bondage. Because my saveness is not being affected by your boundness. So Paul says, you got to save yourself. Let me show you the word saved. The word saved, watch this. The word saved in and of itself means to keep safe or to rescue someone from something, to rescue from danger or possible harm. So if you know something is dangerous and can cause you harm, wouldn't you want to be saved from that? If you know something can cause you danger or harm, wouldn't you want to be saved from it? See, you can't change someone else's bondage. They have to know and want to be saved. Or less you're going to spend your life trying to save or waiting for someone to save themselves who don't even believe they need to be saved. Some people don't feel they have a problem, so why are you praying for them to be delivered from the problem when they don't feel they have a problem? They have to come into the knowledge and acceptance without denial that they have a problem. If I don't believe I have a problem, you talking to me ain't going to change my problem. Because I don't believe, I have to first confess, I got to first believe that I have a problem. I got to believe that I am the problem. And I got to accept the fact that I need to be delivered from this. If I don't have that mindset or those thoughts, I'm going to still do the same thing with different clothes on. I'm going to still do the same thing with different perfume. I'm going to still do the same thing driving a different car. I'm going to do the same thing dancing and shouting on Sunday. I'm going to still be the same person. Why? Because I feel like God got his hand on me, and no matter what I do, he's going to accept me. Because I don't believe I need to be saved. Whoa. But saved means to be rescued from danger or possible harm. And some of you have been around people who are dangerous for you and can cause harm to you. But you haven't saved yourself. Wow. You haven't saved yourself. Another thing for saved is to be freed from, released from, cured from. So when I'm saved, I get released from, freed from. If we look at this from the Christian standpoint of Christianity, saved means to be saved, rescued from sin, rescued from bondage, freed from the dangers of sin, and released from the penalty of guilt. Gave you two. I gave the meaning, and I gave the spiritual. So you got to save yourself. Let me give you another verse. Let's go another verse. Acts 2 and 40. Watch this. Acts 2 and 40. Acts 2 and 40. I got to save myself. If you don't see your dream manifested, whose fault is the reason why you don't see your dream manifesting? Why don't I see my dream? You haven't saved yourself from something. It says this, and with many other words did he testify and exhort, saying, wait a minute, Missionary Brown, you see that? Save yourself from this untoward what? Generation. The word there means crooked. Whoa. Or perverse. Or corrupt. Look at this. And with many words did he testify and exhort, saying, save what? Yourself. Oh, y'all did. Oh, wait a minute. Look at this verse now. We got a clear picture now, right? Now we got to look at this. Look what the apostle says. He says you got to do what? Save yourself. If something in your life is crooked, save yourself. He didn't say God can. He didn't say God. He said you must save yourself. Oh, I was waiting to give y'all this one. I was holding this out. See, you never saw this like this before. Look what he said. Save yourself from the crooked or corrupt. Whatever's crooked, whatever's corrupt, save yourself from it. From this crooked, corrupt generation, speaking in terms of generation, time at hand, people living at that moment, things happening at that moment. Save yourself from it. Save yourself from them. Didn't say you didn't have to speak to them. Save yourself from them. Because I can say hi to you, but save myself from you. Whoa. I can still work on your job, but save myself from the atmospheric, energetic powers of the influence of the people around me that I work with. Save yourself. The Lord says, tell them, save yourself. You know something ain't good for you? Why are you still playing around with it? Save yourself. I want the car, but I don't have good credit. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute. See, we're so and it's not saying that there's moments God don't give you favor. That's not what I'm saying. But don't ride this miraculous train every day. If you want the car that you want and you know your credit isn't good, and they tell you if you pay off this, pay this down, pay that down, come back in 6 months and you can get the car, why are you crying? Why are you fasting? There's no need. Why are you praying for 20 days? There's no need. The answer to save yourself from walking, training, Ubering, or your car that's cutting up before it breaks down, they told you what to do. Pay this credit card down, pay that credit card, pay that off, and pay that off. And in 6 months, come back, and you can get the car that you want. What is so hard with that thinking? You know what it is? Work. We don't want to put in the work. We want magic wands with no work. And it doesn't mean God won't open doors. It doesn't mean there aren't moments where you get favor. But when God gives you something you can't afford at a price you can't afford, when he opens up the way and allows you to have something as a testimony, because it's just a testimony, he's saying to you, okay, I did this, but now I need you to go and fix the things that you need to fix, so you don't have to pray for me to get you a car that you can walk in and get if you get your credit right. Jesus. You want to live in a new house, a new apartment, but you want to bring and invite the same people into your house with the same energy, the same thought, the same talk, the same behaviors. Now you want them. You're going to allow them to come in, eat at your table, after they have been the danger to your life. You're now inviting them into your new space. You didn't save yourself. Before you can save your children, you got to save yourself, because you can't save yourself till you save your children. Jesus said, Simon, Simon, the devil desires to sift you as wheat. He said, but I'm praying that your faith fail not. I don't have time to break that down into the way I want to. And I probably wouldn't still do it on this platform. But he says, but when you're converted, when you change, when you convert it, then he says, go strengthen your brother. He says, save you first. When you're on an airplane, Mr. A. Brown knows she goes on airplanes a lot. When you're on the airplane, as it's moving from the gate, it's on the runway, before it takes off, they are giving you the instructions on what to do in case of emergency. Oh boy. They're giving you the instructions on what to do in case of emergency. And they always tell you before you help someone else with their mask and their vest, secure yours first. Wow. And some of you are doing opposite. You are securing others and not saving yourself. Nothing wrong with saving other people, but save yourself first. You're no good to anybody if you don't help yourself. I love the airplane. Every time, the airplane cannot get up in that air without them telling you before the takeoff. Secure your own mask first. Even before you secure your children's mask, they tell you secure your mask first. Save yourself. That's what they're saying. Save yourself. Because you can get so busy trying to save everyone else that your life is going down and everyone else is going up. You can get so busy trying to make sure everyone is okay that you forget to make sure that you're okay. You can get so busy giving and giving to everybody else that you don't give and do for yourself. You can get so busy praying for everyone else that you don't pray for yourself. Save yourself. You can get so busy trying to encourage somebody, push somebody, help somebody, that you don't do for yourself. And watch this, you're giving all your strength to the person that will pee in your face and then look at you and tell you to call it rain. They will pee in your face and tell you to call it rain. Save yourself. Save your mind. Save yourself. Save your dream. Save your vision. Save your passion. Save yourself. And this is what happens here. The apostle says it's not God's job. Save yourself. Rescue yourself. Wow. Just save yourself. That's why I can be in a room full of my enemies and they don't become my enemy because I'm not moved by what you don't like about me, because I've saved myself from your energy. I've saved myself from no matter what you think about me, what you said about me, how you feel about me, how you gossip about me, how you're going to talk about me when I leave the room. I have already saved. I've protected my spirit from becoming the ugly that you are. So yes, I can worship with you, but I won't worship for you. Oh, wow. That's why I can go to a family cookout and everyone has their own personalities and it doesn't affect me. Until you can eat with people who don't like you and still love them, you haven't saved yourself. You want to save yourself from fear? Take risk. You want to save yourself from being afraid? Whatever you're afraid of that's keeping you, take the risk. Take the risk. What are you afraid of? You know what you're afraid of? You're afraid of the wrong. You're afraid of choosing wrong. You can't be successful until you're willing to take the risk of choosing wrong. I have to save myself. You want peace? Stop letting your environment rob you of the peace that you have the power to hold within yourself. You're giving someone so much control, they are able to change your mood, and you ain't been in the room but 5 minutes, and now you've allowed someone to change your mood. You've allowed someone to rob you of your smile, of your laugh that you had all day because their energy that they are producing out of them. And now they have become your God because at that moment you have now come out of you to fit the energy they've given. Don't ever try to fit an angry energy. Don't ever let no one draw you out to a fight that ain't even worth fighting. Wow, because you have more to lose. Save yourself. There's certain places I don't even go. I save myself from the whole thing. Why go if I know I'm going to be why go if I know that aggravation is in that atmosphere? Why am I going? Save yourself from aggravation. You can save yourself from being hurt by not entering into certain things. Save yourself. Some of you having arguments with people who ain't going to understand you when you get done with it. Save yourself. Trying to articulate to an unintellectual mind that does not perceive the power of thoughts, that has no imagination, and thrives on ignorance, uses it as an excuse to stay dumb. Why am I trying to explain myself to you? Why? Why? I'm going to frustrate me trying to get you to hear and understand. They can't understand you because they are ignorant, not because they were born ignorant. They're ignorant because they refuse to accept truth. And or they refuse to know what is right. And or they just don't want to hear it from you. Ooh. See, people know what's right. People know when they've hurt you, and people know when they've done you wrong. You don't have to tell people all the time, you done me wrong. You know they know. Why? For them to say, I didn't do you wrong. Now you're aggravated. Your blood is boiling. You want to knock somebody down because they're now telling you they didn't do you wrong, and you know why. Save yourself from that. Why? Do you not know, this is going to be a hard pill. Do you not know some apologies ain't even worth giving to some people? Because you're going to make us upset. Because here they do. And you're trying to be the bigger person. I just want to say that I'm sorry. Well, I know you should be sorry. Well, yes, you should be sorry. Well, I'm not sorry because I didn't do nothing wrong. See, now what do you mean you didn't do nothing wrong? I did nothing wrong. That was all you. Now you're in an argument and had peace all day. You were trying to set the tone. Let's come to an agreement. I was wrong. You was wrong. Oh, no, they're not going to say that. So why even do it? Save yourself the trouble, the heartache, the pain. Sometimes we're trying to preach to people, and I don't mean preachers and preachers. You're trying to tell a message to somebody who's not going to hear you. You're trying to pull a stubborn goat who has a mind of its own. Why? You're trying to give somebody something they don't want as bad as you want for them. Whoa. Save yourself. Last point. Invest in you. That's the best investment you can start with, is investing in you. That's the best investment you can start with, investing in you. Investing in you means investing in things that prosper you, that's good for you, that's good to you, that grows you, that brings blessings to you, that helps you walk in the fulfilled purpose, that expands your thinking of you, of God, of life. Investing in relationships, investing in business, invest in you. Don't wait for someone to invest in you. Invest in you. Invest joy into you. Do things that bring you joy. Invest in smiling. Just sit home and laugh. Find a comedy movie, something to laugh at. Invest in you. That way you don't need someone to laugh with you. You can laugh by yourself. Invest in things. Sometimes you gotta make investments. Sometimes you have to make investments with seeds. Sometimes you gotta sow seeds. You gotta sow seeds if you want to harvest. You can't get a harvest without the seed. Everything requires a seed. I don't have time to teach that tonight. I'm going to do that in the closed session, closed group. Everything requires a seed. Invest in time in you. Because if you don't invest in you, you really can't fully invest in someone else. And when you try, they're going to get slighted because you haven't invested in you. So they're going to see that you reverted because you're now trying to catch up to the time you didn't give yourself. Whoa. Wow. So now I'm trying to make up for the time I seeming like I wasted. I can't get back that time. There's one thing you can't get back is time. The time it happened, the time you were there, and the time that has passed. You can't get back time. But what I can do is create new time. I create new times. You got to pour into yourself. Make the investment. You got to invest in yourself. I think we lost Facebook. It done froze. You got to invest in yourself. Yep, Facebook's gone. You got to invest in yourself.